20 years. About 15,500 species, about 15,500 species are facing the threat of extinction. How many species? 15,500 species are facing the threat of extinction. Please note down all the points and take. Please note down the points whichever I am here explaining or saying or writing down here on the screen. Please note down the points. How many species? 15,500 species are facing the threat of extinction. That means they can be extincted or they can be vanished out from the earth anytime. Okay, they can be extincted or vanished out from the earth anytime in the coming years. How many species? 15,500 species. Okay, and even from that, in 15,500 species, how many types are facing threat? About 12% of bird species, about 12% of bird species, 23% of mammal species, okay, 12% of bird species, 23% of mammal species, 32% of amphibia which lives in water as well as on the land, amphibians which live into the water as well as on the land, 12% of bird species, 23% of mammal, 32% of amphibia, and 31% of gymnosperm. Okay, 31% of gymnosperm are facing the threat of extinction. They are facing the threat of extinction. Any doubts are there? Please put down. Sorry. Any doubts are there? Please put down in the chat box. If there are any doubts, please put down in the chat box. Good morning, Ranjita. Any doubts? And good morning to all of you as well. So Dikshita, you are back again because I have not seen you the last few classes. I even asked about the same. Okay. The threat, if there are any doubts, please put down on the chat box. Okay, so how many? Threat of extinction, 12% of bird, 23% of mammal, 32% of amphibia, and 31% of gymnosperms. Okay, these are facing the threat of extinction. Remember the percentage. The questions are based on this. I'll be asking you later on. 23% of bird species, 23% of mammal species, 32% of amphibia, and 31 species of gymnosperms. Okay, and until now, Earth have seen 5 mass extinctions. If the question is asked that how many mass extinction events Earth have seen so far, so how many 5 mass extinction? Until now, 5 mass extinction events are seen by Earth. Okay, until now, 5 mass extinctions are seen by Earth. Okay, remember this. Until now, 5 mass extinction are seen by Earth. So 27 species have become extincted in last 20 years. Then 15,500 species are facing the threat. 5 mass extinction Earth have seen so far, and 12% of bird, 23% of mammal, 32% of amphibia species, and 31% of gymnosperms. 31% of gymnosperms, these are facing the threat. Okay, these are facing the threat. Now coming to the next one, that is about what happened, what led to these extinctions. Okay, so the African catfish, Clarius gerapinus. Okay, Clarius gerapinus was introduced in the aquaculture of India, and the species is causing threat to Indian catfish. What they did was they brought this Clarias gerapinas, which is an African catfish. Okay, they brought this African catfish Clarias gerapinas, which is an African catfish. They brought into the Indian water, that is Indian rivers. Okay, they brought into the Indian aquaculture, and now because of Clarias gerapinas, our Indian catfish is facing the threat. Okay, because of this Clarias gerapinas, our Indian catfish is facing the threat. Because of this, our our Indian catfish are about to deplete. Okay, because of this African catfish. Okay, and next is you remember this. This is Claria gerapinas is nothing but African catfish. Okay, Claria gerapinas is nothing but African catfish, which is causing threat to our Indian catfish, because of which our Indian catfish are facing the threat of extinction. Now, another one is introduction of Nile perch into South African Lake Victoria. Introduction of Nile perch. Introduction of Nile perch. What they did was they introduced this Nile perch into the South African Lake Victoria. Okay, they introduced this Nile perch into South African Lake Victoria, which is very harmful because it caused the extinction of 200 species of fishes, okay, which were present in Lake Victoria. How many? 200 species, 200 species of fishes were depleted or extincted because of this Nile perch. Okay, because of this Nile perch. I will tell you what is this Nile perch is. Okay, Nile perch is nothing but a freshwater fish. Okay, Nile perch is nothing but a freshwater fish it is. Okay, a freshwater fish. What they did was, they listen to this as like a part of a story only. What they did was, they introduced or they brought this Nile perch into this South African lake, Lake Victoria. Okay, they brought this Nile perch and they allowed it to grow or to fish into this Lake Victoria. What happened? This Nile perch killed about 200 species. Okay, 200 species which are known as cichlids. Okay, 200 species of fish which are known as cichlids. Okay, 200 species of fishes which are known as cichlids, and these cichlids are also a freshwater fish. Okay, and examples of cichlids are angelfish. If you have come across fishes, then you must be if you have known about more about fishes and all, you must be heard this name angelfish. Okay, you must have heard this name angelfish. These cichlids are nothing but these angelfish were killed by this Nile perch. Remember this Nile perch, when introduced into the Lake Victoria, they killed 200 species of fishes, and those 200 species of fishes were cichlids. Okay, those 200 species of fishes were known as cichlids. Okay, how many species were killed? 200 species of cichlids were killed. The example is angelfish. Okay, the example of cichlid is angelfish. So, 200 species of cichlids were killed by this Nile perch, which is a freshwater fish. Okay, which is a freshwater fish. So, African catfish was introduced to the Indian waters. African catfish was introduced into the Indian water, that is Clarias gerapinas, which caused the extinction or which caused the threat of extinction to the Indian catfish. Okay, and this Clarias gerapinas, that is African catfish, is also harmful because it causes different diseases also. One of them is African catfish fever. Okay, one of them is African catfish fever, and they also are the reason of causing diseases like malaria and other disease, other some of the waterborne diseases as well. Okay, so it is harmful. Clarias gerapinas is harmful, and it is African catfish which are causing threat to the Indian catfishes. Okay, then what they did, another in South Africa, what they did, they introduced Nile perch into the South African lake Victoria, which caused the extinction of 200 species of cichlids. Okay, cichlids are the example for the cichlid is angelfish. Okay, example for the cichlid is angelfish. You have to remember it like it's a part of a story only. Like what happened was in Lake Victoria, there were many such cichlids growing because cichlids are also freshwater fishes. Okay, cichlids have different types of fishes. Okay, one among them is angelfish. So what happened in South African Lake Victoria, they introduced this another one freshwater fish, that is Nile perch. When they introduced this into the Lake Victoria, how many? 200 species of such cichlids, okay, 200 species of such cichlids were extincted or were killed from that Lake Victoria. Okay, from that Lake Victoria. So you have to remember this. Okay. So next coming to habitat loss and fragmentation. Okay. Now what it is and why it is important in biodiversity loss. Because habitat loss and fragmentation are the main reason for extinction. Okay, main reason for the extinction of animals and plants. Okay, main reason for extinction of animals and plants. Why? Because see, for now think one big project is going on. A big project of a mall is going on in a particular place. Okay, first thing what they do is they cut down trees. Okay, first thing what they do is they cut down trees, they deforest the forest. Okay, they deforest the forest, and because of which, okay, because of which, what happens is habitat loss take place. Habitat is nothing but where the organism live or where the animals and plants live. Okay, it is a home for this. Habitat is nothing but a home, like how you stay inside your home, like that only in this forest and all these animals stay. Yes or no? Cutting down of such trees, cutting down of their habitat causes extinction. Okay, because they will not get place anywhere to live. Okay, any of you have any of you have read about what is going in Mumbai, in Maharashtra, about Array forest? Anyone? You can tell me in the chat box. What is Array Forest? It was started in 2019, and for recently, if you have been reading newspapers and all, you must be knowing about it or seeing the news. So, Array Forest is in Maharashtra, that is in Mumbai. So, what had happened is, the thing is, Array Forest were cut down overnight just because they wanted to start a metro over there. Okay, just because they wanted to start a metro over there. Okay, so Array forest were overnight cut down to start a metro over there. Whereas uh, humongous people had protested against it. Okay, many people had come out on the streets to protest against the cutting down of Array forest. One among them, the protesters was Shraddha Kapoor, who is a Bollywood actress who had come down to protest against the cut down of this Array forest. Okay, so overnight it was cut down, even though so many protests were going on, and many such trees were cut down. Whereas the protesters, there was a case going on against the protesters, which has been taken down recently in October last week, I feel it was been taken down because because the protest was huge. Okay, because it must not been cut down, and hence the metro building of metro has been shifted. Okay, building the starting of the metro line has been shifted now from the Array forest. So that is something which has to come forward, because cutting down of the trees and cutting down of the habitat is not the solution. Because of building of such malls, hospitals, buildings and metros must be done, but not on the loss of the habitat. Okay, not in the loss of the habitat. So habitat loss and fragmentation are the major reason for the extinction. Okay, habitat loss and fragmentation are the major causes for the extinction of plants and animals. Okay, plants and animals. So, tropical rainforest. Okay, tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforests were once covering 14% of Earth's land. Okay, they were once covering 14% of Earth land surface. Now, Earth land surface are brought down by 6% because of human activities. Okay, because of human activities, they are brought down by 6% because of human activities. Earlier, they used to cover 14% of Earth's surface. Now, they only cover 6%. Okay, leading to the loss of many such animals and plants. Okay, leading to the loss of many such animals and plants. Okay, so tropical rainforest, remember this, once used to cover 14%, now they just cover 6% of the Earth's land surface. Okay, so Amazon rainforest. How many of them know about, it was during in Feb 2020. How many of you know about the fire, Amazon rainforest fire? Anyone knows about it? You can put down in the chat box if anyone knows. Amazon rainforest. The fire which led on to become a huge fire, which went on to become something, the fire was so big that it went on to become for almost around a month, it was being burning there. The Amazon rainforest, which are known as lung of the planet. Okay, they are known as lungs of the planet. The fire which had started in Amazon rainforest in Feb 2020. So yes, recently in 2020, Atia, very good. Recently in 2020, the Amazon rainforest fire had started. That I guess in Feb something, the Amazon rainforest fire had started, and it only ended when it rained over there. It only ended when it rained over there, which Amazon rainforests are known as the lung of the planets. Okay, Amazon rainforests are known as lungs of the planet. Okay, the lungs of the planet are cut down. These Amazon rainforests are cut down to cultivate soya beans, and and to raise beef cattle. Okay, so this Amazon rainforests are cut down. Amazon rainforests are cut down to cultivate soya beans and to raise beef cattle. Okay, so to cultivate means to grow soya beans, and to raise beef cattle means to give them shelter for this beef cattle, to have a a kind of a homiculture in for these beef cattle. What is done is Amazon rainforests are cut down, which are known as the lungs of the planet. Okay, which are known as the lungs of the planet. So tropical rainforest, 14% of Earth's land surface they used to cover. Now they only cover 6%. Okay, now they only cover 6%, whereas the Amazon rainforest, which are known as lungs of the planet, the Amazon rainforest, which are known as lungs of the planet, are being cut down to grow soybeans and to raise beef cattle. Okay, is it necessary? Is it necessary to do this? No, right? It is not necessary. Neither it is appreciated to cut down these trees. Okay, the fragmentation of habitats. Fragmentation is nothing but fragmentation. Now we will come up to what is fragmentation. Fragmentation is nothing but which is the forest, the trees are being cut down for our activities, human activities. Okay, to build the buildings, for parkings, for new roads, for housing development and all. This what is forest and trees have been cut down, no, that is known as fragmentation. Okay, for our human activities where the trees have been cut down, that is known as fragmentation. Okay, we take out the habitat from the organisms, from the animals, from the plants. Okay, fragmentation, that is cutting down of such habitat, leads to the no house or no habitat for such organisms. Okay, no house or no habitats for such organism. Fragmentation means, only remember, that occurs because of human activities. Okay, remember this. Fragmentation only occurs because of human activities. Human cut down trees, humans cut down the this forest and all, just because to for example, which I had given, that is array forest, which was cut down to build up the metro lines there. Okay, some of the forests have been cut down to for the temples, for the what I should say, for building buildings, for malls, for so many things. It has been cut down. Okay, so it has to be stopped. It has to be stopped. Human activities has to be done, but not on the loss of the habitats. Okay, loss of the habitats. Mammals and birds requiring large territories. Okay, mammals and birds requiring large territories. Certain animals with migratory habitats are badly affected by fragmentation due to population decline. What happens is, mammals and birds, what happens is, require large territories. Large territories in a sense, large space to be or large space to grow. So what happens then when they require large space? When we cut down this when we cut down this forest and all, what happens is, they have no place to live. Okay, they have no place to live, because of which they eventually die. Okay, because of which they eventually die. That is because of which they need a large territories or large space to be or to survive. What happens is, when they don't get that particular this place to survive, then what happens is, they eventually die. They eventually die. And certain animals like birds, you must be knowing, they migrate, right? They go from one place to another place during that particular seasons. Like some of the, for example, if I take pigeon, pigeon is a migratory bird, for example. Then what happens is, during winter season, they will, if here the winter season is going on, they will go on to some other place where there is some other season is going on, like summers are going on. So why this migration is? Migration is because to go on to the comfortable place and live. Okay, but if the population is cut down, or there many such birds are not present, or their population declines, then what happens is, they become extinct. Okay, then what happens is, they become extinct. So mammals and birds requiring large territories are badly affected And also those animals or those those birds which migrate from one place to another are also badly affected, okay, because of habitat loss and fragmentation. Because of habitat loss and fragmentation, many people must be knowing what had happened to dinosaurs. Yes or no? Anyone has watched Jurassic Park, the movie, the series, and all? You must be knowing that how large they were. I don't know how large they were, and in pictures and all, you must have seen them as well. Because of their large, yes, Satya. So, because they were so large, what happened is they failed to adapt into that place. They failed to adapt onto that earth where it became less small for them. Okay, where it became small area for them. So what happened was, because of that they become extincted, okay, because of which they became extincted. So we'll go on to the, we'll go on to the next. Okay. Now tell me in the chat box, you answer me. Okay. The loss of biodiversity in a region may lead to option A, decline in plant production, lowered resistance to environment perturbations such as drought, increased variability in certain ecosystem processes such as plant productivity, water use, and pest and diseases cycle, or all of the above. Does loss of biodiversity cause all of the above? Or decline in plant production, lowered resistant. Okay, very good. The answer is D. Yes. Others, everyone should be answering here. Everyone should be answering. The answer is D. Correct. Note down the answer and take. The answer is all of the above. Okay. The answer is D. Next one is okay. Tropical rainforest once covering more than A. You can see there an option A option is there, and that B side is also there. More than A percent of the Earth's surface now covers no more than B percent. What is the answer? What is the answer? Read it properly. See. Tropical rainforest, yes. Tropical rainforest once covering more than A% of the Earth's surface now covers more than B%. A is 30, B is 19.8, A is 8.1, B is 2.4, A is 14, B is 6, and A is 9.8 and B is 8.1. And the answer is C. Very good. The answer is C. A is 14 and B is 6. Yes. Earlier they used to cover 14%, now they just cover 6%. Now they just cover 6%. Answer is C. When large habitats are broken up, that is fragmentation, into small fragments due to various human activities, which of the following organisms are badly affected? Mammals requiring large territories, birds requiring large territories, certain animals with migratory habitats, or all of the above. What is the answer? Mammals requiring large territories, birds requiring large territories. Yes, certain animals with migratory habitats, and all of the above. I had explained you how if fragmentation occurs, then mammals requiring large territories are affected, birds requiring large territories are affected, those animals also and birds which migrate from one place to another are also affected. So the answer is all of the above. So the answer is all of the above. Adya, the answer was correct first. All of the above is the answer. Okay, because mammals requiring also are affected, birds requiring large territories are also affected, and those animals and birds which move from one place to another that they migrate are also affected. So the answer is all of the above. Okay, so so the answer is D, all of the above. Now tell me which. So here, okay, match the column 1 and 2, choose the correct answer. Okay, so here, first is taxonomy group, which I already explained you. How many percent? One is column 1 taxonomy group, the column 2 threat of extinction. How many percent rapid threat of extinction has been seen? Birds, amphibians, mammals, gymnosperms. Then threat of extinction 12%, 23%, 31%, and 32%. Which is the answer here? Answer is A. Ranjita, answer is C. Okay, Dikshita, answer is A. Tell me which is the correct answer. Yes. Why C? C. So, how many? 12% of bird species, 23% of mammal. So, I tell you always, write down and take 23% of mammal, 32% of amphibia, and 31% of gymnosperm. So, what is the answer now? 12% of bird, 23% of mammal, 32% of amphibia, and 31% of gymnosperm. So, what is the answer? Yes, 12% of birds. What is the percent of amphibians? What is the percent of amphibians? Very good. 32% of amphibians. Then mammals. What is the percent of mammals? 23% of mammals. Very good. And how many percent of gymnosperm? 31%. So what is the answer now? So what is the answer? Yes, C is the answer. Whoever said it first is correct. C is the answer. Okay, write down this all and take. Write down this. Okay. Okay, next coming to the other question. Go through the answer C. The Amazon rainforest, harboring probably millions of species, is being cut and cleared for cultivating soya beans, conservation to grassland for raising beef cattle, playing cricket or IPL, that is Indian Premier League, and both A and B. Answer is D. Will I lock it? Okay. Answer is D. That is both A and B. Yes, the answer is both A and B for cultivating soya beans and for the conservation to grassland for raising beef cattle. So the answer is both A and B. Okay. Okay, I have locked the answer. Okay, so the answer is D. Now this is which of the following species extinct in the last Which of the following species extinct in the last 500 years due to overexploitation? Okay, so this which of the following species extinct in the last 500 years due to overexploitation? About this I'll tell you. About this I'll tell you. This you must have seen it when I was okay. Yes. In 500 last 500.